Hello there. So I had in my last Kirby video a viewer request to see the interpolation function or blurring function available on the Hi-Def NES menu. Now, I've never actually used it yet, so I did a little bit of playing around with it before recording this video, and what I think this viewer was after was actually kind of not only to see that, but also to see some of the scaling options, which add some different looks and features to the Hi-Def NES capabilities here. So we've got the same game that the viewer commented on, Kirby's Adventure, in here, and we're going to mess around with some of the menus on the Hi-Def NES. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the Hi-Def NES menu. And I'm going to go ahead and play around with the interpolation and turn that on. So, let me turn that on all the way up. Oops. You can see that there's definitely some blur on Kirby here. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off again. See, he's very sharp again. You can take a look at the stars at the bottom where the Kirby's name is in normal. You see what the interpolation actually does to the picture. You can change how much or how little the blurring happens. It's a feature in the Hi-Def NES that I understand, I think, why the viewer requested to see this function, but I don't think it actually does very much visually for the blur. It's kind of hard to see. So what I think he was really after is some of the scaling. And then there's no scaling, you get this picture perfect. You get this picture perfect view. See some of the stretching abilities here. I changed things since the last views and put this up to 500 width, which is, you'll see it pops up here with a 5x, which is what I really like. And setting this thing up for proper viewing is probably be nice to take the top edge down a little bit. You see that blur up there? There we go. And maybe the left edge, bring it in a little bit so you don't see that. Change that, but what I am going to do is I'm going to go into the scaling menu, and scaling, there's no scaling here, you can see. And I'm going to go back into that menu, and you can see the letters get a little bit blurrier, and I think this is what the user was after in this interpolation field. You see Kirby looks almost like he's in some sort of emulator or some sort of remastered version of the game. You've seen the Genesis collection for Xbox 360 did this with a lot of their games. They added this filter. So I'm going to do this again, add more filter for the HQ3X. You see it's even more so there. X. LX2. Just different versions of that in here. And then there's this one. X-ray. which I don't care for at all, but let's go with that one, which was the HQ3X. I'm going to go into the first mission here so we can see a little bit more of what it looks like in game. I messed around with the audio a little bit, and I think maybe it was a bad idea. Not sure, but anyway. This is Kirby's Adventure with that scaling turned on a Hi-Def NES. And it's hard to believe this is actually original hardware that this game is running on, because it doesn't look like a game that belongs on an NES. This looks more like something that you might see elsewhere, you know. Well, that's about it.